Okay, so before I kind of rationalized my fears and my hesitation about transitioning by saying that I was in the middle. And now I realize that that's not really the case. And here's what I mean. Um, I would say, well, uh, I'm not a woman, but I don't fully feel like I'm a man. Um, but I never really asked myself why not. Um, I never asked myself, what is a man? What does that mean? Um, and why do I not feel that that's me? Um, what is what is this what is this image that has I've conjured in my head that I've associated with the word man? And I have this very negative connotation. I think of this cold, heartless, emotionless, aggressive, super macho asshole, basically. Um, like I see my father, and that's so not me. But then when I take a step back and think more about that, I realize that that's also so not most guys. Um, and so I just kind of really look more at what is my interpretation of a man and look more at myself. I had to look at it from a different perspective of how do I feel and what does it mean, as opposed to what's a man and do I fit that. And do my supposed feminine attributes or my personality mean that I'm not a man? Um, what are these so-called female attributes that I feel that I have? um, I'm looking at notes, by the way. I'm sensitive. I'm not tough. I cry at Disney movies. I like to talk. I love theater. I hate bugs. I don't know anything about cars. I don't like getting hurt or getting dirty. But what do these things really have to do with being male or female? Nothing. They're stereotypes. Um, and down to more basic things too. All silliness aside, you know, aggressiveness, dominance, um, lack of emotion, uh, just general toughness, or lack of sensitivity or compassion, things like that. They're not necessarily attributes related to all men. It's this stereotype I have in my head, and I try very hard not to follow stereotypes at all. Um, and if I take a step back and really look at that more logically, I realize that that's what it is, and I'm falling into that. I also said, if I had been born male, I would still question gender. And that's true in that I would still question and challenge gender as a concept, and the stereotypes created by society, the gender roles that go along with that. Um, I feel that if I'd been born with a male body, I'd wear dresses and makeup, but because I would be comfortable enough with my body to do so. Um, and that's the difference. I wouldn't want to transition and change my actual physical appearance. Um, I just would wear those things because I would feel like I should be able to, and I would want to challenge the whole concept of gender and the expectations that society's created for us. I think I stuck by saying that I'm in the middle, really out of fear. Fear of being rejected by my partner, by my friends, my family. Um, Fear of failure and not being able to really live my life the way that I want to and on my own terms. Um, not passing. And maybe a little bit of internalized transphobia. Um, it's easier to accept in yourself that I'm just challenging society's gender roles than it is to admit I'm transgendered. Um, and because of all of this, I've not really been able to analyze how I really feel about my role in society and more importantly about my body image. Um, and that's really the most important thing that it really all comes down to. The more you analyze gender, it really all just comes down to your body. Um, I mean, not entirely, but underneath all of the stereotypes and personality things that really can go either way, it really comes down to how you feel on the inside and how you feel your body is meant to be. Um, I haven't allowed myself to admit that in the simplest of terms, I want a male body. I've always felt that I'm in the wrong body. And I never knew what the right body was. I just knew that mine was wrong. I never felt it was ugly, just wrong. And I really didn't know why. I had no idea what right was. And now I do. Um, and right is, I, I want, I want a male body. I need that to be happy. And I won't be comfortable with myself underneath my clothes unless I do this. And I guess that's really my answer. So, that's that. I'm gonna go to bed.